We're at courtside at the Assembly Hall. The teams are coming back on the court for this very first game. We're going to talk to the coaches in just a moment as they arrive. But right now, Mt Pulaski and Okawville are both on the court. They both won 27 games on the season. And here come the Hilltoppers of Mt Pulaski over to my right now onto this court. A big crowd is assembled here at the Assembly Hall, and we're just moments away from what will be some exciting action, we're sure. The coach of Okawville is Dave Luchtefeld, and the coach of Mt Pulaski is, of course, Ed Butkovich. And I'm telling you, these two guys have won a lot of basketball games. The veterans with over 300 victories apiece in their illustrious career. Our first interview is going to be with one of the coaches, Mt Pulaski's Ed Butkovich, and he'll be coming up just shortly. We've got ourselves just a tremendous atmosphere for this tournament. We really hope you're enjoying watching it, and we hope that we'll have a good show for you. Ed Butkovich of Mt Pulaski, first game. Congratulations on getting here, and what do you have to do against Okawville today?
We're going to have to play a super game, Frank, and I hope that we can do it. We played good ball along the way. We hope we can stop their all-stater inside. If we can do that and put a little bit of pressure defense on us, we should play a good ball game. We're looking forward to a good ball game. We hope that we can represent Sutter Illinois again.
Ed, what should the fans out there watching this game look for you to do on offense and defense quickly?
Well, defensively, we'll try to pressure as much as we can. We play a 1-2-2 full-court press. We sometimes fall back in a 2-3 matchup. Offensively, as late, we've been trying to go to our big man, but we've got a good outside game also.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay. Ed Butkovich of Mt Pulaski, and now the coach of Okawville, Dave Luchtefeld. Dave, when did you get the first idea that you might be here in the Assembly Hall in the Elite Eight?
Well, I think most ball clubs that think they're pretty good start out from the very beginning of the season thinking that maybe there's a shot at it with some breaks, and we got those breaks and stayed healthy, and we're just thankful to be here.
What's the biggest reason you think you're here?
Well, I think that our schedule has helped an awful lot, plus a little luck, and also we like to think we play real good defense, and that's kind of carried us down the stretch.
What do you have to do today to beat Mt Pulaski?
Well, I'm sure they're going to press us, and we'll have to beat that. We'll have to play the way we want to play, and I guess whoever plays the way they want to play the most is going to be the winner.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Coach Dave Luchtefeld of Okawville. Now we'll go down to the floor. Here's Jim Turpin.
Thank you very much, Frank Bassoni. In just a moment or so, we'll have the color guard, the playing of our national anthem as sung by Bill Olson, the wonderful voice and the director of the men's glee club here at the University of Illinois. With me, as you saw at the top of the show, is Dick Campbell, the coach at York High School. Dick, we'll have a chance in just a moment or two to really talk about these two ball clubs. But from what the two coaches said out there, what do you expect in the ball game?
Jim, it looks to me like it's going to be the two inside players against one another. They're both capable inside people, and they like to go to them. Each team is concerned with that and see whether they can both execute with the inside game.
Okay, thank you very much, Dick. Now we're going to have the playing of our national anthem as played by the Herscher High School Pep Band and sung by Bill Olson as the color guard makes its way onto the court.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You just heard the playing of our national anthem by the Herscher High School Pep Band, sung by Bill Olson. In just a moment, we'll have the introduction of the players for these two ball clubs and the starting lineups. Let's go now to the PA announcer, Tom Trent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the participants in today's first quarterfinal game. First, the Rockets of Okawville with a record of 27 wins and 5 losses. The head coach of the Rockets, David Lichtenfeld, in his 18th year at the school, where his record is 332 wins, 140 losses. The team members for Okawville: number 13, Greg Renegarby; number 15, Doug Althoff; number 21, Dennis Linker; number 23, Eric Braumeyer; number 25, Mark Jansen; number 31, Kevin Sabo; number 43, Mike Stein. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Rockets. At a forward, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 41, Darren Mesh.
Darren Mesh, a very aggressive ball player and a very excellent
forward,
rebounder.
A junior, 6 feet tall, number 33, Kevin Obermeyer.
Kevin Obermeyer, averaging 10.1 on the year for Okawville.
At center for the Rockets, a senior, 6 feet 4, number 45, Gary Moeller.
Gary Moeller, the team's leading scorer with a 19.5 average.
At one guard position for Okawville, a senior, 5'11", number 35, Mike Blumhurst.
Mike Blumhurst averaging 8.8 on the year.
And the other guard, a senior, 5'8", number 11, Alan Lake.
And the smallest man on the team, averaging 3.8, Alan Lake. There you have the Okawville Rockets.
And now let's meet the Hilltoppers of Mt Pulaski High School. Their record, 27 wins and 3 losses. The head coach of the Hilltoppers, Ed Butkovich, in his 15th year at the school, where his record is 292 wins, 140 losses. Let's meet the players. Number 12, Dale McCain. Number 24, Mark Rhodes. Number 30, Emil Lynch. Number 40, James Gleason. Number 42, Chuck Olden. Number 52, Rod Stewart. And number 54, Greg Griffin. Now let's meet the starting lineup for the Hilltoppers. At one forward position, a senior, 6 feet 3, number 22, Darrell Clayton.
Clayton averaging 15 points on the year, a 58% shooter from the
The
field.
other forward, a senior, 6'2", number 32, Jeff Edwards.
Edwards averaging 9.7, a very good inside player.
Starting at center for the Hilltoppers, a senior, 6 feet 6, number 50, Wayne Clark.
Clark is the hub of the attack, averaging 13.6 on the year.
At a guard position, a senior, 5'11", number 10, Gary Meister.
Gary Meister, the playmaker of the ball club, averaging 5.7.
And the other guard for Mt Pulaski is a senior, 5'10", number 20, Tony Howe.
Tony Howe is their shooting guard at a good average, 13.9 on the year. There you have the Mt Pulaski Hilltoppers. We'll be back with the tip-off in a moment, but right now, a reminder that one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Jim Taylor has never thought about insurance, but his parents have. So there'd always be the financial security to let Jim climb to the top, to be the best he can be. There are lots of families like Jim's in Illinois, and Country Companies have been providing them with all kinds of insurance for over 50 years. Country Companies, proud to be serving the people of Illinois, proud to be a sponsor of IHSA sports telecasts.
We hope you're enjoying this year's IHSA tournament telecast. TV3 is pleased to bring you the thrills of competition from the Assembly Hall in Champaign each year. We can't, however, do it alone. Here are a few participating local sponsors who help make this telecast possible. Epps Datsun, Route 13 east of Carbondale. Test drive a Datsun, you'll be impressed. Thanks also to Pete Epps' neighbor, Gene Otteson, in Otteson Mobile Homes, Route 13 east of Carbondale, behind the trees. Otteson has a home priced right for you. If you enjoy the tournament telecast, why not let these businesses know?
Back at the Assembly Hall in Champaign, your officials for the first game. On the right is Jim Arisman of Aurora, and on the left, Kelly Douglas of Rockford. Mt Pulaski against Okawville. First of 4 quarterfinal games to be played here today. Moving into jump will be Wayne Clark for Mt Pulaski, Gary Moeller for Okawville. The tip is controlled by Pulaski in the backcourt. Quickly across the line, Meister. Over to Howe, now Meister. Tony Howe deep in the corner. And Jeff Edwards looking underneath for the big guy, Clark. Edwards. Deep in the corner now is Darrell Clayton. They get it to the short jumpers up and in. That is Wayne Clark. Mt Pulaski breaks on top 2-0 and puts on the pressure defense.
Here we are in
that's the kind of thing that they've done all year long, get it into the big guy.
That's right, and here they came right into a 3-quarter court 1-2-1-1 zone press.
Mt Pulaski in front 2-0. We just started. Mike Blumhorst with the ball, and he is fouled right away. The first foul of the ball game is on Gary Meister. Meister picks it up. It'll belong to Okawville to throw in from the side. They inbound it to Alan Lake. Lake guarded by Gary Meister for Pulaski. Obermeyer in the corner. Now back out front to Blumhorst. And Lake. They too try to get it to the big man who is Moeller. Instead, the outside shot misses everything. Rebound grabbed out of there by Clark. And he gets it off to Tony Howe for Pulaski in the corner. Once again underneath Clayton. His short jumper is up and off the board, no good. And the rebound is brought out of there by Alan Lake for Okawville. This ball club won 27 games on the year, lost just 5.
We've got Pulaski in a 1-3-1, Jim.
Deep in the corner, long jumper is up and in, and that is Darren Mesh. And he ties it at 2 with 6:42 to go in the first period.
Darren Mesh provides that outside shooting against that zone.
Once again, Clark. This time it won't go, and the rebound is pulled out of there by Gary Moeller. And he clears it to Alan Lake for the Okawville Rockets. Nice in the corner, now back out front to Lake again. Blumhorst deep in the corner. They try to force it into the big guy Moeller. It's knocked away, but he gets it back.
A little bit of contact there.
Underneath, going for the short jumper is Moeller, and he is fouled. Moeller went for the short jump shot and was fouled. The foul is on Wayne Clark. That's his first. Going to the line to shoot 2 will be Gary Moeller. On the year, Moeller has actually done better, Dick, from the field than he has from the free throw line.
Well, that's very unusual. Of course, he scores inside. He's in there deep, and he's probably not going to shoot out on the court that much.
He makes the first. Okawville in front, 3-2.
Jim Moeller had 22 in the super sectional against Benton, and he can get it in there.
He makes the second, and it's 4-2 Okawville in front of Mt Pulaski. Meister goes to the corner, now back out front Edwards.
We're back to a man-to-man here.
Clayton's shot is no good. The rebound goes to the floor and grabbed out of there by Tony Howe for Pulaski. To Clayton for the jumper from the corner. He didn't make it. Rebound pulled down by Alan Lake, and he's going to be called for being over the top on that board, I believe. Let's see.
Here's a replay of that. Yeah, it's coming up over the top. He didn't have position, and he tried to reach over, made contact up high.
Pulaski ball inside to Clark. Gets it off to Howe for the jumper. It's up and in, and the score is tied at 4. 5:37 to go, first period.
We are with that 3-quarter court press. And they drop back into an aggressive 1-3-1 zone. Forced a turnover.
They lose the ball out of bounds. It belongs to Mt Pulaski with 5:27 to go in the first period. The score tied at 4. The first of 4 quarterfinal games today.
Okawville back into a man-to-man.
Number 11.
They've been changing into two different defenses, Jim. They start out in that zone, and after the free throw, they went back man-to-man, and they've stayed to man-to-man at this point.
Foul call away from the ball on Allen Lake. It belongs to Pulaski to throw in along the baseline.
And a 2-1-2 zone after the out-of-bounds play.
Meister gives it into Clark, whose jumper is no good, and a foul is called on the rebound. This is on Darrell Clayton of Mt Pulaski. That's his first. Lake with the ball for Okawville. 4-4 tie with 5:12 to go in the first quarter. Lake to Blumhorst. Now Allen Lake. Kevin Obermeyer. Shots deflected, gets it back, goes for the layup and made it. That is Kevin Obermeyer for Okawville, and it's now 6-4, and the player has been injured here. We're going to have just a timeout for just a moment, I believe, while they come over and take a look at him.
He stayed with that shot. He was bumped a little bit going up, but he was strong and unbalanced and got it down. Kevin Obermeyer, Coach Luchtenfeld feels he's the best athlete on his ball club. Here we are, a man-to-man defense, picking him up the top of the circle.
That's Edwards. Nice drive down the lane, lays it up and in. Nice job by Jeff Edwards.
Beautiful drive down that lane, right.
Ties at 6-6. 4:38 to go in the first period. Allen Lake, deep in the corner now, that's Kevin Obermeyer. Lobs it for the big guy, Moeller. His short jumper is good, and Okawville now on top by 2. Real good first quarter, 8-6, Okawville.
Pushing that ball down the court, Mt Pulaski.
Long jumper by Darrell Clayton from deep in the corner. Ties it for the Hilltoppers, 8-8. Now Obermeyer down fast for Okawville. The ball now is Allen Lake. Obermeyer in the corner. 3-man, Blumhorst. His shot is up, deflected and blocked beautifully by Wayne Clark.
Pretty close to a goaltend there. I thought that ball might have been on its way down.
With the ball, Pulaski. Jeff Edwards back out front to Meister. Now to Tony Howe. 8-8 ball game. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Here was Edwards deep in the corner, and he gets it off to Meister. They lob it into the big guy. They like to do that along the baseline. His shot is blocked by Moeller. Quite a battle between the two big guys, Dick.
Yes,
then
right.
from deep in the corner, it's Jeff Edwards for Mt Pulaski, putting the Hilltoppers in front 10-8.
They had Clark surrounded that time.
Allen Lake, deep pass to Blumhorst. They lob underneath. Turnaround jumper along the baseline is up. The shot is good. Gary Moeller got it. The basket counts. The score is tied at 10.
Jim, here's another look at that, Dick, as it goes in the middle, and Moeller's got his game legs now. He's really feeling his oats. Look at him go up here and get this home.
Goes right up in that traffic, doesn't he? Stays with it.
Two really strong centers in this game.
Exactly.
In the corner, jump shot up by Darren Mesh, no good. Rebound pulled down by Wayne Clark. The last foul was on Jeff Edwards. They drive the baseline. Gary Meister on a nice baseline drive, but a foul was called as he tried to make that move.
Gary, quick first step there, went down that baseline very aggressively.
Allen Lake picks it up. That's his second. Pulaski's ball, deep shot by Meister is good. And it's 12-10. No first quarter jitters for these ball
No,
clubs,
they
Dick.
both have come out smoking, haven't they, Jimmy?
Here's Allen Lake getting the ball off to Blumhorst. Deep pass in the corner, Mesh. To get it to the big guy, his shot is up and off the board and good. That is Gary Moeller. And the score is tied at 12.
They both
48 to go in the first period.
They both seem to be able to get that ball up over top of one another. They have a high release, and they stay with their shot. They're both going to be scoring well in this game, I believe.
Long jumper now by Tony Howe for Pulaski, and he hits it, and it's 14-12. A real good first quarter to open this Class A state tournament. 2:20 to go, first period. Mesh in the heavy traffic, but he gets it off to Blumhorst. And he has the ball deflected and stolen away by Meister. Comes down 2-on-1. He gives the ball to Edwards. His layup is good.
Right.
And a foul is going to be called, a charging foul on Edwards. The basket's going to be good to put Pulaski in front, 16-12.
After the shot, that's right. It was a charge. He had the position. He was planted. The basket was good.
Smart play by Allen Lake.
And a timeout has been called. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
Acres of gold keeping America going. Acres of gold keeping the trade winds blowing. Acres of gold keeps the economy growing. It's a great feeling knowing we've got acres of gold.
Plant managers, as you know, employee foot injuries can mean financial and physical hardship. A sound safety shoe program can help offset the high cost of on-the-job foot injuries. Now, Shamrock Supply, your local headquarters for Ranger Safety Shoes by Endicott Johnson, can help you set up a program that's inexpensive and easy to administer. Shamrock can assist you with a payroll deduction plan or employer subsidy program to ensure the foot safety of your employees. Shamrock has a great number of Ranger Safety Shoes in many styles for men and women. For more information, call Shamrock Supply on Route 13 in Crab Orchard.
First quarter thus far, Mt Pulaski 7 of 13 from the field. Okawville 5 of 9. Pretty good shooting, Dick Campbell.
Yes, it was. We've got a substitution here at the end of the quarter. Greg Renegarby came in. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 130-pounder, and Coach Lechtenfeld says he's about as fine a young player as I've ever been around, and of course he's been around a lot of them, so we'll have to watch this young man. He's about a 60% shooter and about 80% free throw shooter. Very unusual for such a youngster.
Country Companies Insurance and the nearly 1,000 Country Companies agents in Illinois are happy to be co-sponsoring these basketball telecasts, and we hope you're enjoying this presentation. At the line for Okawville will be Alan Lake. He's a 56% foul shooter. Another one of those young men who's shooting better from the field, 58%, than from the line, 56. He rimmed that one, and Wayne Clark pulls down the rebound, but then he threw the ball away. Jim, that's why coaches get gray.
Oh, that's right. Jim, I was mistaken. I thought that Renegarby, here he comes now. Now he's coming for Alan Lake.
You were just predicting he was going to come in. That was good.
Foresight. All right.
Lake was shooting a foul shot, Dick.
Here we are with a 2-3 zone down there, basket defense.
That's Renegarby there, off to Moeller. Back out front now is Mike Blumhorst. Down the lane, has the shot deflected. That is Kevin Obermeyer, and the ball is pulled out of there by Pulaski's Jeff Edwards. And he gets it to Tony Howe. Across the line quickly to Meister. Deep in the corner, jump shot is up and in. That is Darrell Clayton again for the Hilltoppers, and they lead it now 18-12. 4 points for Clayton. A minute 30 to go in the first quarter.
Mount Pulaski's got the good outside shooting up to this point.
That is Mesh for Okawville. And he's going to be called for traveling. Started to take that shot, made the little fake, tried to drive around his man, but took too many steps. The ball belongs to Pulaski with 1:16 to go in the first quarter. Mount Pulaski on top, 18-12. Gary Meister across the line easily to Clayton. Now to Jeff Edwards. To Meister. Looking underneath, threw the ball away. Intended that pass for Darrell Clayton, who wasn't looking, and it's stolen by Okawville. Blumhorst brings it down. Renegarby, Blumhorst. Good pass along the baseline, going for the layup and making it under there is Gary Moeller.
Oh, power move along that baseline, took it right into the teeth of that defense.
8 points for Moeller, 18-14 lead now for Mount Pulaski. 36 seconds for the quarter. They come right back. Pulaski does and gets the ball to Clark, and he is fouled. Two big players along that pivot. Wayne Clark at 6'6", 210 for Pulaski. Gary Moeller at 6'4", 205 for Okawville.
Foul was on Renegarby. He dropped back, tried to give help from the top, and he reached in.
Gary Meister, Pulaski holding for one here perhaps with 24 seconds to go in the quarter, leading 18-14.
They're going to pull the ball out, go for the last one, I believe. Got the lead. They want to take that lead into the quarter.
Now 11 seconds. There's Clayton. His long jumper is no good. 7 seconds to go. They get the ball down to Renegarby. He goes for the layup, and he missed it. It's tipped up. And with 1 second to go, a foul has been called. And the foul is on Okawville's Darren Mesh.
Jim Clayton put that ball up just a little bit early and missed, and they were able to bring it down and have a shot at it. They did miss the layup, but the foul would certainly be a little costly too.
At the line for Mount Pulaski will be Darrell Clayton. He's a 72% foul shooter on the year. He's averaging 15 points a game. Just 1 second to go in the first quarter. He missed it. Obermeyer has the rebound for Okawville, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score Mount Pulaski 18 and Okawville 14. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Have you read that?
You got the bucket?
Get the insurance man.
Wayne Carey?
No, he's life.
John Dolby?
Auto.
When you have all your insurance with Country Companies, you get one agent to call, one agent, to help make sure you have the right coverage and to speed your claims.
Wally Stupsker. Wally Stupsker.
Country Companies, insurance for home, auto, life, health, farm, and business.
Hello, Wally Stupsker. The insurance man. The window washer.
If you're in the market for new housing, see Ottoson Mobile Homes on New Route 13 east of Carbondale. Ottoson has a price to fit everyone. $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000, up to $34,000. There's no worry about financing either. Ottoson can arrange on-the-spot financing through VA, FHA, or from local banks. Don't let the money situation discourage you. Ottoson can help. And 20 years of selling mobile homes in southern Illinois is another reason why you should see the people at Ottoson. Ottoson Mobile Homes, Route 13 east of Carbondale, next to Epps Dotson, behind the trees.
Pulaski leading Okawville 18-14 at the first period. The field goal percentages in the first quarter, Mount Pulaski 9 of 16, Okawville 6 of 11. Once again, some outstanding shooting. No first game jitters for these two ball clubs. The two big guys, Moeller against Clark. Second quarter, the tip controlled by Okawville, and with it is Mike Blumhorst. Greg Renegarby now looking underneath. Mount Pulaski asking for the 5-second call there.
It's a 1-2-2 zone with a little bit of trapping over here on one side. I don't know whether they're matching up. We'll have to watch a little longer.
There's Moeller's jumper up. No good. Ripping that ball out of there is Jeff Edwards. Mount Pulaski in a hurry, down to Clark now, drives the baseline, nice move, lays it up and in.
Super
nice
drive.
move done by the big guy.
Super drive down along that baseline, strong.
Mount Pulaski by 6, 20-14, 7:20 to go for the half. Renegarby drives the lane, he bounced, passes it nicely, lays it up and in. That is Gary Moeller, the recipient of a fine feed from Greg Renegarby, and Moeller has scored 10, and it's 20-16.
We've got a contact lens been misplaced there, it looks like, by the Wayne Clark. No, it's by yeah. Here's a replay of that dish off. The sophomore penetrated, drew people to him, dropped it off, and that's also where the drop off of the contact occurred.
Yeah, that's Gary Moeller. Everything is all repaired now, and the ball will belong to Mount Pulaski to throw in from the side. It'll be Tony Howe inbounding the ball, and it gets to Jeff Edwards. Big collision underneath, nothing called. Baseline drive now, and a foul is called. That foul down underneath the basket.
Wayne Clark set that pick on that out-of-bounds play, and there was a lot of contact, but officials didn't choose to call it.
Mike Stein picks it up. That's his first. He's a reserve, 6'3", 182, 17-year-old junior for Okawville. Free throws up and off the board, no good by Clayton. And a foul is called on the rebound, and picking it up is Tony Howe for Mount Pulaski. Tony Howe picks it up, so we walk down to the other end of the court. That is Howe's first foul. It's 20-16. Mount Pulaski on top, 7:02 to go here in the first half.
Jim, these teams are very equally, interestingly matched. The inside game, of the sizes are comparable. Their whole style, both offensively and defensively.
We throw up and off the board. Saved there by Mount Pulaski, and then a foul is called. That is on Okawville's Kevin Obermeyer. And we walk down to the other end of the court once again. There's the save. That's by Jeff Edwards.
Two people, one from each team, going after the basketball. The one that lost ended up with the foul.
Obermeyer picks it up. That's his first. At the line will be Gary Meister. 5'11", 64% foul shooter on the year. Made the first, and that gives Pulaski its biggest lead, 21-16.
Jim, the way these two teams are scoring, you'd think there was no defense being played, but there is. There's good defensive intensity, and they're working on both ends.
Second free throw is short, and the rebound is pulled out of there by Stein. And he gives it to Mike Blumhorst, who comes down against the Pulaski press. Now Obermeyer. Mike Blumhorst with the ball. 21-16, Mount Pulaski on top. We're in the second quarter. Renegarby down the lane, gets the ball off to Stein. His shot is up. It's no good. Rebound cleared out by the big guy for Mount Pulaski. That is Wayne Clark. He gets it to Gary Meister, who drives all the way back to Clark. Short jumper off the board and in. Coach, that's the way you coach him, isn't it? Take the ball off the board at one end and come down and score at the other.
That's right. Get it back to the big man. That's where a lot of the percentage is, Jim.
That is 6 points for Clark. It is now 23-16 Mount Pulaski. Renegarby now down the lane, making a good move, but missing is Obermeyer. Once again, Pulaski on the rebound. Tony Howe. Now Clayton. The guy Howe in the corner. That is Clark. He's going to see if he can do it from long range. He misses this one. Rebound goes to the floor and is grabbed out of there by Greg Renegarby for Okawville. Now to Mike Blumhorst. 5:40 to go in the first half. 23-16. Pulaski leads Okawville. Pass along the baseline. Going for the short jumper is Moeller. He missed it, but he's fouled.
Fouled by Wayne Clark.
Wayne Clark picks it up. That's his second.
Here it is, and look at it inside. Clark's holding his position, turns around, gets up, and gets into the body and maybe a little of the arm, too.
When the score is close and the time is now, both these teams go to their bread and butter people. Those are their centers.
Gary Moeller missed the first. He'll have another.
They both seem to be able to come out on the court, too, and shoot.
Makes the second. It's now a 23-17 ball game. And Darren Mesh is back in the ball game, replacing Mike Stein for Okawville. Gary Meister brings it down for Mount Pulaski. And the Hilltoppers lead it 23-17. Deep in the corner, Clayton. Now Howe. Clark has the ball deflected and stolen away by Mike Blumhorst. Down quickly for the Okawville Rockets. Gets it off to Renegarby. Side now Obermeyer. Renegarby. To Blumhorst. Lobs underneath along the baseline. Pass it back out front. The jumper is up and the jumper is good. Darren Mesh got it. It is 23-19 now. Pulaski on top. 4:54 to go for the first half. It is Beister. They get it to Clark. His shot is off the board. He tips it up. He may be called for his third foul there over the back on the rebound. That's the call. Wayne Clark gets it. Missed the shot, and then Dick, as so often happens, going for that rebound or the second effort, they pick up the foul.
Yes, that's right. He goes straight up, but he is clearly behind, and he's in there with the body.
So Wayne Clark, the leading scorer, the outstanding rebounder for Mount Pulaski, has 3 fouls with 4:48 to go in the second quarter. He is coming out of the game. He has been replaced by Emil Lynch, who is only 6'2". At the line, shooting the 1-and-1 for Okawville will be Kevin Obermeyer. Got the first, and it's now a 23-20 ball game as Okawville makes a little comeback. 3 points in the game thus far for Obermeyer. He got them both. It's a 2-point game now. Pulaski on top, 23-21. Here is Tony Howe for Mount Pulaski. Meister.
Pulaski is in their motion offense.
Clayton drives, lays it up and in. Beautiful job by Darrell Clayton for Mount Pulaski. And now the Hilltoppers are back in front by 4, 25-21. Okawville with the ball. That is Blumhorst. His jumper from right at the free throw line is no good, but a strong rebound up and off the board and out. Oh, that one was almost down, came out of there, and the rebound is pulled down by Emil Lynch. And he gets it to Tony Howe. And a foul is called away from the ball here. That is on Darrell Clayton of Mt Pulaski. Walk down to the other end. Clayton picks up the foul.
Much of what happens to decide a basketball game happens away from the ball. Jim, as you call that, pushing foul away from the ball on Pulaski.
At the line for Okawville will be Darren Mesh. That is the second foul in the ball game on Darrell Clayton. The Mt Pulaski center, Wayne Clark, has 3 and is on the bench. Free throw is good by Mesh. He'll have one more. He's a 74% foul shooter on the year. He has scored 5 points thus far in this game. It is 25-22, Mt Pulaski. This one is no good. Tipped up once, twice. No good by Obermeyer. And finally, pulling it out of there is Tony Howe for Mt Pulaski, and he'll bring it down. Jeff Edwards.
A lot of picking away from the ball in that motion offense. No pattern. It's just a matter of rules and trying to find somebody open away from the ball.
That's Edwards on the baseline. His jumper is up. He has it knocked away, but he's also fouled by Obermeyer. He got a piece of the ball and got him either on the arm or with the body.
I don't think you find any question about this one. He got into him good. He jumped into him and knocked him off balance.
Coach Dick Campbell, is there a tendency to play a bit slower after your big guy goes out with fouls?
Well, it changes the complexion of the game, the emphasis. It could be, though, that they'll not force that ball inside, maybe go a little more perimeter stuff, and might work out for him all right in the long run.
Jeff Edwards misses the first, but makes the second. It's now a 4-point lead for Mt Pulaski, 26-22 with 3:44 to go. Ned Butkovich, the Mt Pulaski coach, wants a timeout here. His ball club is leading in the game, but his big man, Wayne Clark, is on the bench with 3 fouls. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
Please report to 101 of the Assembly Hall. Acres of gold keeping America going.
Hey, Mom, when do we eat?
Acres of gold keeping the trade winds blowing.
Go on. Thanks, Grandpa.
Acres of gold keeps the economy growing.
I'm gonna sit by you, Grandma. Oh!
It's a great feeling knowing we've got acres of gold.
DeKalb, as much a part of American farm life as having supper with the family.
It's a great feeling knowing we've got acres of gold.
Mt Pulaski leads it by 4. Top scorer for Pulaski has been Jeff Edwards with 7, but the big scorer for the ball game thus far has been Gary Moeller of Okawville with 13 points. Okawville with the ball. They trail by 4 with 3:30 to go. They lob it underneath. Shot is up and off by Moeller, and Pulaski has the rebound, and grabbing that is Emil Lynch. He's done a good job on the board since he came in for the big guy, Wayne Clark. The ball is Howe. On the baseline, can't free himself, gets it off to Edwards now. Now that's Gary Meister. They seem to be clearing out for just one man and trying to one-on-one.
Well, here's a true clear out. This is a little unusual. 4-man stack over here, but they went to double up on Howe. A nice move. Here we go again. Someone else in that position of clear out one-on-one.
On the baseline, jumper is up by Howe, no good. A foul is called on the rebound, though.
Darren Mesh over the top.
There's the jumper by Tony Howe. Foul occurs on the rebound.
Dynamite position there by Lynch down low, and he got the reward.
That's the 3rd foul on Mesh. Free throw is missed, though, by Emil Lynch.
The officials seem to be calling that position consistently. You just can't reach over and hammer people from behind. It's going to cost you.
Mike Stein back in the ball game for Okawville, replacing Mesh. That's Mike Blumhorst with the ball for the Rockets. 26-22, Mt Pulaski on top by 4. Jumper by Blumhorst is short. But Renegarby comes up with it. His shot is up, no good, but he is fouled by Lynch.
Renegarby, the sophomore, penetrated, drew somebody to him, got the foul.
First foul in the ball game on Lynch. Renegarby will be at the line. He's just a little guy. When I mean little, he is 5'9", 130 pounds. Just a sophomore, 16 years old, but does a good job.
Yeah, he's shooting over 80% on that free throw line, and he's sure poised for a sophomore, though. He hasn't done anything impulsively yet.
26-23 now. This one's up and around and in, so he can cut it to 2, and he does. 26-24. Mount Pulaski by 2. 2:31 to go for the half. Here is Meister.
Okawville in that man-to-man, and it's a sag. They're back there below the circle.
Tony Howe now.
Pulaski may want to melt some time off this clock without their big man here, too.
There's the baseline drive. Let's see what the call is going to be. Foul is going to be called on Okawville. Picked up is Obermeyer. Now he has 3. Both Obermeyer and Lesh have 3. Or Mesh, I should say, have 3 fouls for Okawville, and Clark has 3 for Pulaski.
Pulaski seems to have gone into an isolation type of approach with their big guy out of there, trying to go one-on-one with people and putting it on the floor.
Jeff Edwards has the one-on-one. He missed it, but they come out of there with the rebound. That is Chuck Holden. Shot up, no good, and the rebound pulled down now by Obermeyer.
I like that Obermeyer. He's a workhorse. He's hitting those boards, and a good defensive player.
Well, there was another one that was almost in.
Those rims seem to be pretty tight, Jim. Balls have been popping out of there.
Meister for Pulaski. He got the ball to Jeff Edwards, who was called for the travel.
He changed his pivot feet. He was caught the ball and with 1 foot down, and then slipped it a little bit, and the officials picked it up.
Doug Altoff into the ball game now, 5'9", 136-pound, 18-year-old senior for Okawville.
Pulaski picking up at the 10-second line, but then giving ground, and they're going back to the basket defense again. 2-3 zone. Little matchup principle out here on the perimeter, I think.
That is Renegarby. Altoff now, who just came in. He's going to pump the long jumper, and he got it. Nothing shy about Doug Altoff. He came into the ball game, was in there about 10 seconds, and pumped one in to tie it. 26-all with 1:17 to go in the first half. Gary Meister. Now Pulaski. Howe, his shot is up and off, no good, but he is fouled. It was on Altoff. It's his first. So with 1:06 to go in the first half, the score knotted at 26. Going to the line for Mount Pulaski will be Tony Howe, 74% foul shooter on the year. He'll shoot 2 here. 27-26. Pulaski by 1. Mount Pulaski 27-3. Okawville 27-5. He made them both. It's a 2-point lead now for Pulaski, 28-26. 6 points in the game for Howe.
Back in that 1-2-2 3/4 court press with Trapp.
Altoff for the ball to Renegarby. 55 seconds to go now for the half.
Okawville using cross-court passes against the zones. Not a lot of dribbling.
42 seconds now. There's the ball knocked out of bounds by Gary Meister. It belongs to Okawville with 38 seconds to go for the half. Okawville trails Mount Pulaski by 2, 28-26. Drive along the baseline by Blumhorst, and he is fouled. And picking it up is number 42, Chuck Holden.
Yeah, Holden, good defensive positioning. He moved. He looked like he got over there, but did make some contact. It's a fine line between good defensive play and the call that can be made.
1-on-1 coming up for Blumhorst, and he rimmed it. And the rebound is pulled down by Olden for Mount Pulaski. 31 seconds to go. Mount Pulaski on top by 2, 28-26.
Coach Budvit would like to take a 4-point lead in here, and I think maybe they'll go for the last one. The worst they have would be a 2-point lead. Having the lead and the advantage at the half is certainly a psychological advantage.
There's a ball stolen by
sophomore.
Renegarby. Goes all the way down to the sophomore, lays it up, and he missed it. 6 seconds to go. Now Pulaski with the ball. Howell gets it off. Long shot by Emil Lynch is completely over the backboard. So Mount Pulaski is taking a 2-point lead here into halftime, 28-26. That's the end of the first half with the score. Mount Pulaski 28, Okawville 26. We'll recap the individual scoring for you in just a minute.
Country companies don't just offer an insurance discount on new homes. We offer more, like special low rates as your house gets older. In fact, your home may qualify for Country Companies' low rates if it's 5, 10, 20 years, even older. So if you're high on your home, see how low we can be on your homeowners. Country Companies, insurance for home, auto, life, health, business, and farm.
To every driver who'd love to watch the tachometer but has to watch the gas gauge, Datsun dedicates the new 200SX hatchback. Blistering performance and breathtaking gas mileage. A new fuel-injected engine unleashes over 8% more horsepower from 33% less gas. The new Datsun 200SX gonna drive you like you've never been driven.
See the full lineup of new Datsuns for 1980 at Epps Datsun, Route 13 East in Carbondale.
Harper's Discount Home Improvement Center can save you money on kitchen cabinets. Bring your measurements to us and let us help you plan your kitchen. Estimates are free. For example, we have a 6-foot sink base for only $165, countertop for only $3 per foot. Or does your bathroom need remodeling? We have stools, $49.95, tubs at $64.95, vanities starting at $39.95. You can put together a complete bathroom for only $199.95 at Harper's Home Improvement in Harrisburg and McLeansboro.
Back at the Assembly Hall in Champaign.
We're at halftime at the Assembly Hall where Mount Pulaski leads Okawville 28-26. Here at halftime, we're with Coach Rich Herron of Benton. And Coach, what's your impressions of this first half?
Well, actually, both ball clubs are playing very conservative, but as you can see, Okawville, who beat us in the Super, doesn't panic when they get behind, Frank. And of course, Mount Pulaski lost their big kid for a portion of the game on fouls. He took probably a bad shot and then followed for the rebound and he picked up his third foul. So you can see both ball clubs are well coached and both controlling the tempo of the game and kind of feeling each other out.
Did you say that you were the coach of the head coach of Okawville when he played in high school?
Yes, the Lichtenfeld family, and Dave was a junior, and Stanley was 6'5" as a freshman. They got me a good start in coaching, and Dave was an all-stater, and so was Stanley, and they both played at St. Louis U, and he's been there 18 years, and he did a heck of a job at Okawville, and you know, if we couldn't be here, well, very happy to see Okawville and Dave Lichtenfeld here playing at Champaign this afternoon.
You bet. Let's talk a little bit about the foul problems in the first half. The big center for Mount Pulaski in foul trouble, some people for Okawville. What's going to happen in the second half with the foul problem?
Well, as you can see, like I stated earlier, basically Okawville doesn't panic when they get behind. You know, they're going to play conservative basketball and not make many mistakes. They missed some layups or they'd been leading in the ball game. Clark made a silly foul, and I would say that when he's back in the ball game, it may be a different game for Mount Pulaski because they go to him a great deal. But I still say Okawville is probably the ball club. They're going to come back and probably win the ball game because they do a lot of things.
Very interesting.
Coach, how do you like the two centers as they pose to one another? Do you think Clark is stronger, or do you think they're going to be a standoff between the two of them? They're both very similar type players.
Well, actually, Dick, both good scorers, big, strong players, and Clark may be a little more physical than Moeller, but Moeller can score. I think maybe something a lot of people don't realize, if you look at Mash, Blumhorst, and Overmeyer, I think this is why they may have beat us. They're very physical players for 6'1", 180-pounders, and they're very physical. They're farm boys, and their physical strength is in their arms and shoulders and hands.
Stay with us a minute. We'll continue with our halftime activities in just a moment. First, this message from the IHSA.
We had that game in the bag.
I thought that's why you wanted Mickey to participate in high school sports.
To learn how to lose?
To build character, set goals, to learn that things don't always turn out the way you want them to. Oh, hi, Mickey.
tough break, kid.
Sometimes you get the bear, and sometimes the bear gets you.
What should a CIPS customer do when the power goes off? First, see if your neighbors have lights. If so, check to see if any of your circuit breakers have tripped or fuses have blown. If the problem seems outside your home, phone Central Illinois Public Service Company. During an emergency service interruption, stay inside. If you must go out, stay away from downed or dangling wires. Let trained people from CIPS find the trouble and correct it. That's our job.
Hi, the staff and management of WSIL-TV hope you're enjoying the telecast of this year's IHSA basketball tournament. We're pleased to bring you the action and excitement from the Assembly Hall in Champaign each year, but we can't do it alone. Here are a few participating local sponsors who help make this telecast possible. Shamrock Hardware and Sporting Goods in Crab Orchard. This is Shamrock's 5th consecutive year as a participating sponsor. We're also happy to welcome aboard Ziegler Coal Company as a new sponsor. Coal helped build this country. Coal can help save it. If you enjoy the tournament telecasts, why not let these businesses know?
It's Mt Pulaski 28 and Okawville 26 here at halftime. Dick Campbell, what do you think the adjustments that these teams will make now in the second half are?
Well, the 3 fouls on Clark, Frank, would be the key as far as making adjustments. Now, probably Clark's a little more physical than the other center, but that kind of neutralizes with 3 fouls his strength or his edge and power, if that's the case. But I felt that the adjustment that was made was to go to a perimeter game, and in fact I thought maybe up to a point that he got his 3rd foul that maybe they were forcing in there a little bit too much. So I think they've got some other alternatives, and that's the thing. You live with that inside game and you get him in a little bit of foul trouble, and then you have to have alternatives. And I think I saw alternatives in that second quarter that would provide one-on-one driving to the hole, some good perimeter shooting. Well, I think it's an even-Steven game.
It really is. These are the 2 smallest teams in the tournament in terms of enrollment, but they're really playing hard on both ends. Maybe Mt Pulaski got a little bit tentative when their big guy went out.
Well, that's right. You're bound to adjust for a period of time. I think the officiating is very consistent. I like they're letting them play a bit, but they're punishing anybody who tries to come from poor position and reach in. The fouls are something you have to live with, and of course you have to adjust to them in the course of the ball game. But it's well officiated.
Okay, Coach. We'll go to Jim Turpin now for a recap of the scoring of this first half.
Thank you very much, Frank. For Mt Pulaski, Clayton had 6 points. Edwards had 7. Clark, their big man, had 6, and as has been mentioned several times, he has 3 fouls, set out a good portion of that second period. Meister scored 3. Howe had 6. Lynch and Olden did not score. For Okawville, Maish had a total of 5, Obermeyer 4, and the leading scorer for Okawville and for the game thus far is Mulder with 13. Renegarby had 2, and Althoff had a total of 2. It's a 28-26 ball game. Mt Pulaski leads it by 2 here at halftime. Let's pause now 5 seconds for station identification. Stay tuned for second half action. We'll be ready for the tip-off in just a minute.
Farmers have been boosting corn yields with DeKalb hybrids since the days of horse-drawn planters. Today's innovative farmers continue to depend on research companies like DeKalb. That's why their high-yield corn programs start with DeKalb XL55A. Yield is the best description. Add fast dry down of quality grain on healthy plants, and you have a yield-packed hybrid. Just a few of the good reasons innovative farmers depend on DeKalb XL55A.
Dave Bender just bought another $25,000 of life insurance. Not unusual, except 6 weeks ago, Dave had a heart attack. He also had a guaranteed insurability option he'd arranged through his country company's agent, so he could buy more insurance at low rates regardless of physical condition. Guaranteed insurability, the option that gives you options. Country companies, insurance for life, health, home, auto, farm, and business.
What should a CIPS customer do when the power goes off? First, see if your neighbors have lights. If so, check to see if any of your circuit breakers have tripped or fuses have blown. If the problem seems outside your home, phone Central Illinois Public Service Company. During an emergency service interruption, stay inside. If you must go out, stay away from downed or dangling wires. Let trained people from CIPS find the trouble and correct it. That's our job.
Back at the Assembly Hall in Champaign, this is Jim Turpin along with Dick Campbell and Frank Bissoni. We're at halftime. Mount Pulaski on top of Okawville, 28-26. And we sincerely hope that you're enjoying our telecast this afternoon. DeKalb Ag Research and the more than 750 DeKalb dealers are glad to be one of the network co-sponsors. Two-point ball game here at halftime, 28-26. This one will be followed by the Luther South Pittsfield ball game. Luther South comes in with a 24-5 record. Pittsfield with 20-9. That will be the second quarterfinal game. And then tonight we'll be on the air at 7 o'clock. Tip-off time at 7:15 for Peoria Bergen against Gibson City. Then the fourth quarterfinal game matches Timothy Christian against Madison. We'll have them all for you. Hope you can be with us. Clark is back in. Wayne Clark jumping against Gary Moeller. Clark's the one with 3 fouls that we told you about. Darren Mesh also has 3 fouls for Okawville. With the ball for Mount Pulaski out front is Meister. And there is a foul called away from the ball once again. That is on Darrell Clayton of Mount Pulaski, trying to free himself underneath apparently. And he picks up his 3rd foul. The Dick Campbell fouls are becoming more and more important in this first game.
Yes, they always are. You worry about them if you're out there on that bench coaching.
Okawville brings it down. They can tie it with a basket here.
That wasn't meant to be a shot. That was a long cross-court pass that caught a piece of the rim.
A long time ago, the cross-court pass was a no-no, but a lot of teams use it now.
Exactly.
Mount Pulaski with the ball, leading 28-26. We just started play. There is Clark, makes a move on Moeller, and he is fouled.
That's the second foul that Renegarby's gotten in the same way, trying to drop back on top of the postman and give a little assistance.
Renegarby picks up his second. The ball belongs to Mount Pulaski to throw in along the baseline. That's Darrell Clayton. Out front now, Howell. Jumper at the free throw line is no good. Tipped up by Clark and tipped in. Beautiful. A beautiful left-handed tip by Clark.
Up over the top. Nice control.
8 points for Clark. 30-26. Mount Pulaski leads Okawville by 4. Here is Moeller. He makes his move. Missed it. Gets his own rebound. Lays it up and in.
Well, there's the trouble of the fouls. The 3 fouls. Clark had to be very passive in there.
And now the ball is stolen by Blumhorst, and then he is called for traveling. Once again, Mount Pulaski. 30-28. Mount Pulaski leads it by 2. We just started play here.
Okawville back in there man-to-man, Jim. Kind of giving ground. Trying to help inside.
One shot missed. Rebound missed. Jump ball called. Darrell Clayton fighting for it for Mount Pulaski. He'll move in to jump.
You see Wayne Clark come in that time trying to crowd that forward, and he was like he's walking on eggs. He was afraid that whistle would blow again.
Gary Moeller controls the tip, and it belongs to the Okawville Rockets. They're 27-5 on the year. They've had a great season. There's that cross-court pass. Renegarby is open, and his jumper hits the bottom of the net, and that ties it at 30. 6:26 to go in the third. 4 points for Renegarby. Clark's turnaround jumper is good along the baseline. 32-30. You just couldn't ask for a better game to kick off the quarterfinal round here.
Very evenly matched.
Obermeyer to Renegarby. Clark has now scored 10 for Mount Pulaski. Free for the jumper in the corner is Mesh. His shot bounces around no good. A foul is called on the rebound. Pushing underneath there is Jeff Edwards for Pulaski.
Jeff Edwards, the second against Mount Pulaski.
That is his 3rd foul.
Yeah, he tried to step in and around. He was blocked out, and he tried to improve his position.
Renegarby's shot is up, no good. The rebound is up by Moeller, and goaltending is called against Wayne Clark. And And that ties it at 32, and Ed Butkovich wants a timeout. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Here it is. Yes, truly, it was on its way down. I don't think there's any question about that.
Get the insurance man.
Wayne Carey?
No, he's life.
John Dolby?
Auto.
When you have all your insurance with Country Companies, you get one agent to call, one agent, to help make sure you have the right coverage and to speed your claims.
Wally Stupsker. Wally Stupsker.
Country Companies, insurance for home, auto, life, health, farm, and business.
Hello, Wally Stupsker? The insurance man. The window washer.
Prices you're going to love Ike Buick Honda AMC Jeep. They got fussy customer prices that'll turn you on.
See the Ike Honda showroom during the grand opening now through March 16th. A free AM/FM radio will be installed in the first 10 1980 Hondas purchased. Save gas in style and comfort with a Honda from Ike.
Come see us at Ike Buick Honda AMC Jeep. We just love fussy customers like you.
Me too.
Route 13 east of the University Mall in Carbondale.
32-32 tie with 5:50 to go in the third quarter. In that first half, Mt Pulaski shot 52% from the field, Okawville 40%.
No, if you're at Okawville and you've shot 40% to 52 and you're only 2 down, you have to think you're in good shape.
Each team charged with 4 turnovers in that first half. Mt Pulaski with the ball. The score is tied at 32.
Okawville also got out-rebounded 21-14 in the first half.
Towel with the ball for Pulaski. Now Darrell Clayton. Edwards. Lob underneath, intended for the big guy, but the other big guy, Gary Moeller, stepped in and picked it off for Okawville.
That's a very interesting matchup, those two people at both ends of the court. Renegarby. Beautiful.
Oh, good feed into the big center, Moeller, and he gives it to Obermeyer for the layup. And that was 34-32, Okawville by 2.
That was created by that penetration and dish off, and then 2 passes that led to that basket.
Long jumper by Edwards, no good. Tipped up, Clark, no good. Rebound, Moeller for Okawville. They lead it by 2 now, 34-32. 4:51 to go in the third period. Shot is up and off by Mesh, and the rebound is pulled out of there by Mt Pulaski. Tony Howe off to Meister. And now stolen away in a jump ball. And that's the little sophomore again, Greg Renegarby.
Creating a little havoc out there, Jim. He shook that ball loose and then went back and got it again. We'll see him. Here he is. Shook it loose there, then came in from behind. Got it tied up.
He had 10 points in the super sectional. He's everywhere.
He'll jump against Jeff Edwards of Pulaski. Edwards gets the tip off to Tony Howe. Howe makes a good move along the baseline. Short jumper is good. The score is tied at 34.
A little bit of a force, Jim, but he got it down. That's what counts. There's that 3/4 court press again. Not having too much trouble handling that, pushing it down the court.
Renegarby drives underneath, gets the good pass out. Shot is up and missed by Blumhorst. Rebound is good by Moeller. 36-34, Okawville by 2. 4 minutes to go in the third period.
Once again, a penetration that caused that basket, caused the defense to collapse, creating a vacuum, and then a kick out.
Jumper up by Clayton, no good. Tip by Clark, no good. Rebound by Moeller again for Okawville. They lead it by 2 with the ball. Oh, double dribble is going to be called there.
Jim, important turnover for Mt Pulaski. The momentum has gone to Okawville here in the third quarter, and Mt Pulaski needs to strike back with a hoop here.
Jeff Edwards inbounds the ball to Gary Meister for the Hilltoppers.
Coming off a little double stack there, set up a shot for
Clayton. Missed it. Rebound pulled out of there by Renegarby, and he is fouled by Tony Howe. Back in the ball game now for Okawville is Doug Altoff. That's the second foul on Tony Howe. It's 36-34. Okawville leads it by 2. 3:29 to go in the third period. Good work bringing the ball down. Shot is up. A foul is called. Underneath.
Jim, I'm impressed with the with their passing. They're doing a heck of the Rockets are a fine passing team.
Darrell Clayton picks up the foul, and that is his fourth. Obermeyer at the line, makes the first. 37-34, Okawville by 3. 7 points for Obermeyer. We'll have another. Missed that one, and Darrell Clayton pulls that rebound out of there for Mt Pulaski. So he's playing with 4 now, and Clark with 3. 37-34, Okawville leads it by 3. 3:08 to go, third quarter. The first quarterfinal game. Short jumper, Clark is good.
Big bucket.
Nice jump.
Very important bucket for them.
37-36, Okawville by 1.
Very poised, the Rockets. They handle the ball well. They don't get rattled, as Coach Herron said, if they get behind.
Drive along the baseline, and a foul is going to be called on Clark. And that is Obermeyer going to the foul line now. He drove along the baseline. Clark stepped in front of him.
I thought he got there, but he was still moving. He moved that step. Moved that step one more as he brought that ball around in the dribble, and that's number 4 on the big guy.
Oh, Mt Pulaski really in a peck of trouble here now. Clark has 4 and Clayton has 4. And still, we have 2:41 to go in the third quarter. 37-36, Okawville by 1. Once again, it's Obermeyer at the line. He has scored 7 points in the game. He misses this one. The rebound pulled down by Jeff Edwards for the Hilltoppers. Chuck Olden. Now Gary Meister. Traveling going to be called on Edwards. He tried to make a move to the basket. Was called for traveling.
No, there have been very few turnovers. Very few of the traveling calls, the bad passes. It's been rather a fault-free game at this point.
Just 4 each on each team in the first half. 2:22 to go for the third quarter. 37-36, Okawville leads. They have the basketball. There's Altoff. Cross courts it to Darren Mesh. Moeller now has scored 19 points in this ball game. Short jumper is no good. Rebound pulled out of there by Emil Lynch. And he gets it to Edwards, who gives it to Howe, and he brings it down for Pulaski. Now Meister. 1:52 to go in the third. Mt Pulaski can take the lead back with a basket here.
Hands off, you two!
That is Meister.
Nice
His shot
drive.
is
Nice
up and
drive
off the
down the
board
lane.
and in. 38-37. Pulaski by 1. 5 points in the game for Meister.
Well, Howe's got to take over. They've lost on the foul situation. Their 2 leading scorers.
Ball knocked away. It belongs to Okawville. 1:26 to go in the third period now. Looking underneath. 32. There's a foul going to be called on Jeff Edwards. They tried to force the ball underneath to Darren Mesh, and he was fouled. That is his 4th foul.
Trailing him across that lane, he just didn't have position. As he reached up, went after the ball, he made contact, and that blue uniform kind of ricocheted off of him. So
the front line for Mt Pulaski, Clayton, Edwards, and Clark all in foul trouble. Free throw is up and good by Moeller, and he has now scored 20. And Okawville leads, has tied it, 38 all. Now Okawville on top, 39-38. Made them both, and has scored 21 points. Gary Moeller, the big center for Okawville. That is Tony Howe with the ball for Pulaski.
Going to that clear-out series, that isolation series. Nice drive.
Meister again drives the baseline, lays it up and scores, and Moeller fouled him. 40-39 now, Pulaski by 1. And Okawville wants a timeout here. 1:02 to go in the third period. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
Over 50,000 producers make their hogs odds-on favorites to win the marketing race. They sell on Heinold Hog Market's strong daily market for all types and weights of hogs. When prices drop, they protect their profits through Heinold's Guaranteed Hog Price Program. Run the marketing race with Heinold and take home a bigger purse. 23 Heinold Hog Markets serve Illinois producers.
Coal helped build this country. Coal can help save it.
You bet I'm angry. We're spending billions of dollars on foreign oil, and we got all this coal right here in Illinois.
Illinois coal can help, but if industry can't burn it, we can't sell it.
Illinois utilities are burning Western coal. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Yes, I'm concerned about the environment, but I'm also concerned about feeding my family.
Ziegler Coal wants to remind you.
Coal helped build this country, and coal can help save it.
Mt Pulaski on top 40-39 with 1:02 to go in the third period. Just a tremendous opening ball game here in the quarterfinal round. I can remember some, Dick Campbell, that haven't been quite this close and quite this well played to kick things off, but this has been a beauty.
Well, that nervousness of playing that first game, playing it can bring about a lot of nervousness.
Free throw is up and good by Meister, and it's 41-39 now. Mt Pulaski on top by 2. 56 seconds to go in the third period. Renegarby gets the ball to Mesh. Renegarby, they whip it around beautifully, driving for the layup, missing it under there. Rebound pulled down now by Chuck Olden. And Ed Butkovich's people off the bench have done a pretty good job on the boards, both Olden and Lynch.
Good point, Jim. Even though they've got their big guy out with fouls, they've still got some beef along the baseline, and they crash pretty well on the boards.
Now they appear to be holding for one with 28 seconds to go, and they force the jump ball call.
Yeah, they didn't penetrate that hash mark. They had 10 seconds to get in there, and they didn't do that. It was kind of a semi-delay, just trying to stretch them out and get to that point where they could take the last shot.
Renegarby will jump against Meister. The tip is controlled, though, by Mt Pulaski, and with it is Tony Howe. Now 22 seconds for the third quarter. 41-39 game. The toppers of Mt Pulaski lead the Rockets of Okawville.
Still in a spread delay game here. Get down to 11 seconds. Howe going to go one-on-one. The shot.
And he got it. Just like on the drawing board. 43-39. There's a foul with just 2 seconds remaining to be played in the third period.
Not the kind of a foul you want your kid to make with 2 seconds. Reaching in there after that great one-on-one move down to the baseline. Puts him to the line, can cancel that nice bucket.
Howe has now 3 fouls in the game.
He fouled out in the super sectional game too, Jim.
Doug Altoff at the line. He made the first. It's 43-40 now. Mt Pulaski by 3. It's 3 points thus far for Doug Altoff off the bench. 5'9" senior. Got them both. 43-41. 1 second to go. They throw the ball the length of the court. And it misses everything, and that's the way it's going to end up here at the end of 3 periods of play. Mt Pulaski 43 and Okawville 41. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Comes the big guy back.
Country Companies don't just offer an insurance discount on new homes. We offer more, like special low rates as your house gets older. In fact, your home may qualify for Country Companies' low rates if it's 5, 10, 20 years, even older. So if you're high on your home, see how low we can be on your homeowners. Country Companies, insurance for home, auto, life, health, business, and farm.
Coming back with Clark, Jim.
Leading scores at the end of 3 periods. Okawville's Moeller has 21, Obermeyer 7, and Mesh 5. For Mt Pulaski, Clark has 12, Howe 10, and Edwards 7.
Wayne Clark has come back in there, coach, to start this fourth quarter with the 4 fouls.
We have some substitutions being made here. Jeff Edwards and Clark are both coming in. Ed Butkovich wants to make sure that everyone has reported at the bench. Right, Frank?
He asked Clark, who did you go in for? Who did you report for? And Clark told him, and he yanked the other man out of the game.
There's a tip. They scramble for it. It's pulled out of there by Mt Pulaski. Emil Lynch got it. There is Howell free for the 20-foot jumper, and he got it. 45-41. Mt Pulaski by 4. Howell has scored 12.
With a little bit of a lead, they can maybe do some things to protect people in the foul situation.
There's Mesh. Back out from Blumhorst now to Renegarby. Looking around the outside, always looking underneath along that baseline for Moeller. And they get it to him. Goes for the layup. It's up and in. And Wayne Clark went up and kind of pulled that hand back.
Boy, he went right after him.
45-43, Mt Pulaski by 2. That is 23 for Gary Moeller. Short jumper up by Clark. He got it, and Moeller fouled him. The two big guys really going at each other. 47-43 now. Mt Pulaski by 4, and Clark will have a chance to complete the three-point play. Clark has scored 14. That is the second foul on Moeller. He rimmed it. Howe has the rebound, though, and he clears it way out front. 7:09 to go for the game. The winner of this one moves into the semifinals, which will be played tomorrow afternoon.
Good movement without the ball.
Meister off to Edwards now. Had the ball deflected. Hit last by Okawville. It belongs to Pulaski along the baseline.
Good example, Jim, that time of that motion offense, working away from the ball. They picked somebody off right underneath, but the pass was deflected.
Edwards out to Howe. Back to Clark now.
Rockets in that 2-3 zone now after that out-of-bounds play, and they'll stay in it.
Almost threw it away there, but Meister retrieves it, gives it to Howell on the baseline. Howe is in traffic, and he has to clear the ball off to Lynch. Now Howe. Clark free for the jumper, up Edwards. Missed it. Rebound. Lynch again. Edwards going for another short jumper. No good. Got it back again, and a foul is called. Foul is called on Okawville. And it's on Kevin Obermeyer. That's his fourth. 6:21 to go.
In there. 33.
We may not have anybody left to play this one, the way it's going.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact. They picked somebody out of the crowd.
Ball belongs to Pulaski to throw in along the baseline. Out front to Meister. Jumper from the corner. No good by Edwards. Howe gets the rebound, though, and he clears it out front again.
This is a long possession down here. They've gotten second shot 3 times now.
More than a minute. It's 6:03 to go for the game. Mt Pulaski leads it by 4. 47-43. Jumper corner is good by Howe. He went to the floor after he shot it, but he made it. It's 49-43.
Howe goes back around that corner to his left. He looks like he's shooting around the corner, but he's made 2 or 3, so I guess he's doing what he usually does.
And then Kevin Obermeyer comes right back for Okawville to cut it to 4 again, 49-45.
Right back in your face.
Just couldn't ask for a better game. Clark guarded closely by Moeller. Now Howe, 5:24 to go for the game. 4-point lead for Mt Pulaski. Traveling is going to be called out front on Gary Meister.
Good defensive pressure there applied by Okawville that were able to cause them to have to pressure the ball on the perimeter and slid his foot.
We were just looking at Dave Luchtefeld as he looked on here. His team is down by 4. Shot from deep in the corner is up, and it's good. Darren Misch got it. It's 49-47. Mt Pulaski's lead has been cut to 2. 5:07 to go. 7 points in the game for Misch. Howell for Mt Pulaski. Now Edwards. Jumper Lynch. He got it home. Emil Lynch, the 6'2 senior, off the bench with a critical jumper there. 51-47 now. His first points of the game. Pulaski leads it by 4. Deep pass underneath. Moeller got it, and he's fouled. Lynch picked it up. That's his second. At the line will be Moeller.
Yeah, there's a case of that ball going up there, 2 going after it. The loser gets the foul along with not getting the basketball.
Moeller already has scored 23 to lead all scorers in this game. He has the 1-and-1 here with 4:38 for the game.
Short.
Very short. Rebound, though, is up. No good. Rebound pulled down by Jeff Edwards of Mt Pulaski off to Tony Howe. Pulaski with a 4-point lead, 51-47, 4:27 to go. The winner of this into tomorrow's semifinals. 4:18 to go.
Trying to set up a rebound triangle over here to get the ball to Clark.
Lynch baseline drive, short jumper. No good. Rebound pulled out of there by Okawville.
With it, pretty deliberate at this point. They didn't look for the break. They're going to walk that thing down the court.
In the corner, long jumper by Mesh. No good. Rebound pulled out of there by Lynch.
I don't think Coach Lichtenfeld liked that choice of shots. I think he wanted something a little better than that.
3:44 to go now. Mt Pulaski leading by 4 with the ball. Here is Clark. Lobs it into Lynch, and he is called for traveling. Emil Lynch turned around, took a look at that basket, was called for traveling.
Yeah, a little hesitation. Didn't know whether to put it up or put it on the floor, and in between, he traveled.
The timeout is going to be called here with 3:35 to go, and Mt Pulaski leading 51-47. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
Acres of gold keeping America going. Acres of gold keeping the trade winds blowing.
Plant DeKalb hybrids, and you'll harvest acres of gold.
It's a great feeling knowing we've got acres of gold.
We hope you're enjoying this year's IHSA tournament telecast. TV3 is pleased to bring you the thrills and competition from the Assembly Hall in Champaign each year, but we can't do it alone. Here are a few participating local sponsors who help make this telecast possible. Ike Buick Honda AMC Jeep east of Carbondale, celebrating their new Honda showroom grand opening. Harper's Home Improvements in Harrisburg and McLeansboro. For building or remodeling, Harper's has it at savings for you. And CIPS, your public service company. If you enjoy the tournament telecast, why not let these businesses know?
Our sponsors are happy to be able to bring you these tournament games on television, and if you have any comments about our coverage or suggestions or anything like that, we'd like to hear from you. Just Right High School Basketball, Box 112, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. We'll give you that address again a little later on.
Crucial possession here for Okawville.
Muller gets the shot, but he missed it, and the rebound again is pulled out of there by Emil Lynch. Boy, he has been a rebounding demon coming off the bench for Mt Pulaski. Tony Howe for the Hilltoppers. Now Clark. 3:09 to go for the game. Edwards in the corner. Lynch, his jumper short. Rebound pulled down by Obermeyer. His team, Okawville, trails it by 4 with 2:56 to go in the game.
Once again, a chance to get down to 2 here in this possession. They've been down 3 times, haven't done it. The sophomore.
Oh, Renegarby just let it fly from the line. He got it down, and it's a 2-point game now. 51-49. That is 6 points for Renegarby, and he has shown a lot of class and a lot of poise here for a sophomore. Clark way out front for Mt Pulaski. To Meister. He's going to shoot the little set shot. He missed it. Rebound pulled out of there by guess who? Renegarby. 2:23 to go.
Chase
51-49.
Chase that ball down out of the pack, Jim.
Driving the lane, laying it up and in is Kevin Obermeyer, and we're tied at 51.
And assist by the little playmaker.
Well, he sees the court so very well. He zips that pass through the zone.
Mt Pulaski now had the 4-point lead. Now the score is tied. They get it to Clark. He takes a look at Moeller. He drives on Moeller. He can't get the shot off. He threw the ball away. And Blumhorst had it to Renegarby for Okawville. The Okawville Rockets, trailing throughout most of the second half, have the score tied now. They have the ball with 1:45 to go.
They're going right at him. They're not holding it up. Here he comes.
Renegarby again, and he got it again.
As they say, a crier. That ball rolled around and got a lot of rim, but it was 2 points.
Renegarby has scored 8. Okawville leads it by 2. 53-51 with 1:30 to go.
How about that group of plays?
One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Dave Bender just bought another $25,000 of life insurance. Not unusual, except 6 weeks ago, Dave had a heart attack. He also had a guaranteed insurability option he'd arranged through his Country Company's agent, so he could buy more insurance at low rates regardless of physical condition. Guaranteed insurability, the option that gives you options. Country Companies, insurance for life, health, home, auto, farm, and business.
If you're fussy about prices, you're going to love Ike Buick Honda AMC Jeep. They got fussy customer prices that'll turn you on.
See the Ike Honda showroom during the grand opening now through March 16th. A free AM/FM radio will be installed in the first 10 1980 Hondas purchased. Save gas in style and comfort with a Honda from Ike.
Come see us at Ike Buick Honda AMC Jeep. We just love fussy customers like you.
Me too.
Route 13 east of the University Mall in Carbondale.
I'd like to remind you once again that address, if you'd like to write to us and comment about the coverage, give us any suggestions you'd like, is High School Basketball, Box 1112, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. A minute 30 to go. The ball belongs to Mt Pulaski, and they trail by 2 now.
Coming off the timeout here, we'll see what we got. It's a double stack. Exchanging away inside. Going to the big guy. He got one.
Up and off the rim, bounced around and fell in. The score is tied at 53 now, 1:14 to go.
That's going to your bread and butter.
Okawville with the ball, 1:07 to go for the game. The score is tied.
Pulaski in a 2-1-2 zone, Jim.
That is Mesh. Gets the ball off to Blumhorst around the outside. 50 seconds to go now. Renegarby in the corner. Mesh. Renegarby, right side, Blumhorst. 43 seconds to go.
We may have OT.
37 seconds to go. Back out front, Renegarby. He has shown no hesitation to shoot that basketball.
No.
Blumhorst, now 29 seconds to go. Score tied at 53.
They're spreading them out, Jim. They're chasing that zone around, and it's somewhat of a passive defense, so they're content to handle it.
17 seconds to go now. Renegarby out front, and a timeout is going to be called here by Okawville. Well, that obviously, Coach, was by design. Hold the ball until a certain amount of time, some like 11 seconds, some like 14, and then set up what you're going to try to do.
That's right. They're going to come off of there, and I would guess they'll try to go to Moeller on the inside, and if they collapse, they'll kick it back out, and it might be Renegarby, probably anybody that's free. But you have to go to your big guy inside if you can at all. Maybe draw the foul if they choose to defend him.
The situation is this. It's 53-53 tie. 14 seconds to go. When play is resumed, Okawville will have the ball to throw in from the side. Country Companies Insurance and the nearly 1,000 Country Companies agents in Illinois are happy to be co-sponsoring these basketball telecasts. And we sincerely hope you're enjoying this presentation. I want to say one thing about this presentation. It's about the best game I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it is.
Jim, think of that. For the first game, there's been enough suspense here to fill a whole shelf full of Agatha Christie's. And I'll tell you what, we've got 14 more seconds, and I don't think anybody in the building, Coach, can tell who's going to win this one.
No, I'm figuring that there might be a little overtime just to start the tournament off in the right way.
Renegarby, the little sophomore, has hit on 3 of 6 shots, all of them from long range.
And those last 2 were big ones.
He'll inbound the ball across from us, which is along the sideline.
Got a Moeller away from the ball over here on this side. Man-to-man defense. Got it in bounds.
Obermeyer.
Renegarby.
Back out to Mesh. 8 seconds to go. Deep pass underneath. Moeller having trouble. Shot up, blocked. Next shot up is no good, but he is fouled. 2 seconds to go. Moeller got the shot, missed it, got it back, got it up again, and was fouled.
Well, our bold young sophomore put that ball inside with a chancy pass down the pipe. Surrounded, goes up, he got hit.
Foul is on Jeff Edwards, and he is fouled out of the ball game for Mt Pulaski. Moeller is 5 of 7 from the line in this ball game, but on the year he is just a 59% foul shooter.
He's got a lot of extra body motion on that free throw line, Jim. I don't know. He's looked a little bit shaky at that line earlier in the game. He dips real low, and I'm not sure that he's too confident in his free throw ability right at this point.
Ed Butkovich going to ice in here with a timeout, make him think about it.
Exactly what he did. Butkovich calls the timeout, so there are 2 seconds to go. When play is resumed, Gary Moeller will be at the line. On the year, he has averaged 19.5 points. He's a tremendous rebounder. Coach Dick Campbell, this has really been a battle underneath. I don't know when I've seen two players more similar than those two centers.
They really are, and I can't pick one over the other as far as being more physical. They're very similar, as you said. They like the power moves inside. They both have come out to put it up a little bit. They're both good defensive players. They support, the teams play to them both very well, too. They get the ball to them in a good position.
That scoreboard you just saw tells the entire story. 53 tie with 2 seconds to go. We certainly hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are. We'd like to remind you, too, that DeKalb Ag Research and the more than 750 DeKalb dealers are glad to be one of the network co-sponsors. Gary Moeller at the line. He is already the leading scorer in the game. He's standing down there by himself. He got there early, didn't he?
He's getting there a little bit early. I don't know if that's wise or not. Stand there for a little while to think about it.
Okawville will send everybody else to the other end of the court. But the good feeling, I guess you'd have to have, Coach, would be that I've got two. There's no 1-on-1 at this point, and probably one of two might win this ball game. First one's up, and he got it. Oh, that was a swisher. 54-53. Okawville by 1.
Pulling everybody off the free throw line, and there's going to be a chance here to take the long pass and one more
going
shot.
For his 25th point. That one missed. Rebound. Oh, they say they're leaning too soon. He's going to get a chance to try it again. Mt Pulaski down there, and they're the only people in the area. No Okawville players there. Call for being in the lane too soon, and Gary Moeller get another try. Butkovich is up, I think, signaling another timeout. I don't know if they heard him or not. Yeah, maybe not. It's up, it's good, and now a timeout is called. He made it, then they call the timeout. So that makes it Okawville 55 and Mt Pulaski 53. Still 2 seconds showing on the clock.
Maybe that violation may have been a blessing in disguise, because now they got a chance to set something up, throw the ball down. With the miss there, time would have started running right away, and I don't know what kind of shot they'd have gotten. They still have the same 2 seconds, and they've got time to get it up.
Well, as we've told you already this afternoon, we'd like to repeat again because we're deadly serious about this. If you have any comments about the coverage, any suggestions of any kind, we'd like to hear from you. So all you need to do is write high school basketball, box 1112, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. High school basketball, 1112, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. Mt Pulaski will have the basketball. They trail 55-53. Dick Campbell, Pulaski had that lead at 51-47, and they just sat on that 51 for the longest time. Just weren't able to get another field goal in there or even a free throw, anything to break that ice. They finally did get to 53, but now 2 seconds is not much time to get that ball the length of the court.
It is, of course. A lot of things have happened in 2 seconds around the country in this game of basketball. What kind of a shot will they get?
They're going to throw the long pass, apparently.
The clock starts, of course, when the ball hits an inbound player's hands and not before.
Let's see if they throw it to the short man or the length of the court. They get it into the short man, Meister. Shot by Howe is up. The shot is no good. He missed it. And Okawville has won this one in a thrilling ball game. One of the best opening round games, the quarterfinals that we've seen in quite a long time. We'll continue with our coverage of the Illinois High School Class A boys basketball tourney in just a minute.
What'll it be, Harry? Regular or trim? What? Yep. Oh, out cheering the old alma mater again last night, huh? You're really into high school sports, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Exciting. Yeah. Economical. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Something the whole family can enjoy. Hey. Hey, how about you guys? Anybody else see that game last night, huh?
Driving? There's always someone bigger than you are, and someone smaller, too. Don't be a road hog. Make way for the other guy. There's plenty of room for everyone. Look and look again at intersections. Never try to share the lane or follow too close. Every driver needs his own space. Do your, and the highways will be safer for everyone. Drive courteously, for their sake and your own.
Here's the ticket information for you. Your team will play at 12:15 again tomorrow. 12:15, I beg your pardon, correction on that time. Game time tomorrow will be 11:15 for Okawville, 11:15 in the morning. Now, tickets for tomorrow's games.
55-53 ball game. Okawville wins it. Mt Pulaski had that one final shot and just couldn't get it down. The scoring in the ball game for Mt Pulaski, first of all, Clayton had 3 field goals, no free throws, a total of 6 points. 6 points for Clayton. Edwards had 3 field goals, 1 free throw, 7 points for Edwards. Continuing with the Mt Pulaski scoring, Clark, the big center, had 8 field goals for a total of 16 points. 16 for Clark. For Meister, 3 field goals, 2 free throws, 8 points for Meister. Howe had 6 field goals, 2 free throws, 14 points for Howe. Lynch had a field goal for 2. Olden played in the ball game but did not score. Now for the winning Rockets of Okawville. Mesh had 3 field goals and a free throw for 7. Obermeyer had 4 baskets and 3 free throws for 11. The leading scorer for Okawville and for the game, their big center, Gary Moeller, who had 9 field goals, 7 free throws for 25. Bloomers did not score, nor did Lake. Renegardi had 3 field goals and 2 free throws for 8. Stein did not score. Althoff had a basket and 2 free throws for a total of 4 points in the game. Okawville wins it by 2, and Mt Pulaski led at halftime 28-26. Okawville wins it 55-53. That sets up the second game, which will match Luther South, coached by Cliff Dahl, into the ball game with a record of 24-5 against the Saukees of Pittsfield, coached by David Bennett, whose record is 20-9. And tonight, remember, we have 2 more ball games in the quarterfinals. The Peoria Bergen Trojans, coached by Rudy Keeling, with a record of 21-8, will take on Gibson City, the Greyhounds of Gibson City, coached by Jack Cowgill, whose record is 21-8 on the season. Identical records of Peoria Bergen and Gibson City in that 3rd game of the quarterfinals. And then tonight, the final quarterfinal game will be Timothy Christian's Trojans, coached by Don Greenfield, with a record of 22-8, against Madison, coached by Larry Graham, and Madison has a record of 26-4. And that figures to be a real good one. So, Okawville has moved into the semifinals. And Okawville will play the winner of the Luther South Pittsfield Saukees game tomorrow afternoon, the first semifinal game. The 2 ball clubs for the second game are coming onto the court now, Luther South and Pittsfield. Many people believe that a couple of the Chicago private league schools, Luther South and Timothy Christian, have a chance to get to the finals. And if they were able to do that, it would be the first time, I believe, that 2 teams from the same conference were able to get into the finals. But a lot of people, obviously, are going to have a lot to say about that before this one's over, including some of the opponents this evening. This Madison Ball Club, for example, coached by Larry Graham, is a veteran team. It's a ball club that has won 26 games and lost 4, as we mentioned. It's a team that will take on Timothy Christian. Timothy Christian's record is 22-8. One of the things that we need to point out, not only in that particular game, but in any game that we do in Class A, that it is necessary to look at the schedules that these teams have played. For example, you see a team like Peoria Bergen, they have 8 losses on the year. They are 21-8. But you understand that the Peoria Bergen Ball Club has played a lot of Class AA teams. So that's the lineup, and now Frank Bassoni and Dick Campbell have an interesting guest for you. Here's Frank Bassoni. Frank?
Thank you, Jim. With me is the principal of Mt Pulaski High School, Joe Zimmerman. And Joe, what a shame anybody has to lose a ball game like that. Your Mt Pulaski team, coaches and players, showed very well here, of course.
Well, Frank, I tell you, they don't have anything to be ashamed of. They've struggled a couple games to get here, and I'll tell you, anybody who watched them play around Christmas time wouldn't have given them a shot. But I tell you, they've come on and played real strong basketball. And I'm telling you, I know they're a little down right now, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. They really don't.
A spectacular 27-win season, of course, and I'm sure that the entire area communities around Mt Pulaski are very excited and have been over this team.
Oh, they're super. I tell you, I haven't seen a community follow their basketball like that in 33 years of it's just unbelievable. We had 1,100 tickets down the super sectional. We turned 200 back in, and the team we played back down there, they turned in as many as we sold, and I tell you, it's just super.
What about any plans that you might have to recognize this fine basketball team?
We plan on having a pep rally Sunday about 12:30 at the gymnasium. They'll leave Champaign at 10:30 Sunday morning, and they'll be taking Route 10 to Clinton and Route 54 from Clinton to Mt Pulaski.
What about the early in the season? Did you get an inkling very early on that this might be a tournament-type team? Did this team gel in the middle of the year, late in the year? What about it?
Well, as sophomores, they went undefeated, this group, and the majority of the boys in that sophomore team, they were without Wayne Clark all year. He played varsity ball, and the rest of them went undefeated. And I think they looked a little high at him for last year, and then they ended up losing 9 ball games, but they were inexperienced. And I really don't think that people expected them to do that this year. I really thought that they'd win 20 ball games, but I don't think they even thought they'd come close to getting through the sectional and super sectional.
Well, all of us would like to congratulate you, Joe, and Ed, and the entire squad at Mt Pulaski on a wonderful season.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now let's go back to Jim Turpin.
Thank you very much, Frank Bassoni and Dick Campbell, for that interview. Nobody likes to lose, but we would certainly echo the sentiments that we just heard there, that Mt Pulaski really came on strong in the latter part of the season. As a matter of fact, I remember talking to Ed Butkovich down at the Charleston tournament, and his team had just lost 2 games down there, and he was kind of sad. He was a little bit down, but his team came on after that tournament and won a flock of games, and certainly it put it itself well here in the first game, which was won by Okawville, and just a terrific ball game, 55-53, in case you just joined us. Okawville over Mt Pulaski in game number 1. The second game will then match Luther South against the Sulkies of Pittsfield. Then tonight, Peoria Bergen against Gibson City, and Timothy Christian against Madison. The Luther South Braves have a record of 24-5 on the year, and Pittsfield is 20-9. Once again, we'd like to remind you that Country Companies Insurance and the nearly 1,000 Country Companies agents in Illinois are happy to be co-sponsoring these basketball telecasts. We certainly hope that you're enjoying this presentation. First game is over. Chicago, Luther South, and Pittsfield are on the court warming up now for game number 2. Let's go now to Frank Bassoni. Frank?
Thank you very much, Jim, and we're standing at midcourt here at the Assembly Hall with Associate Executive Secretary of the Illinois High School Association, Dave Fry, and Dave, what a way to open our tournament.
Oh, this is outstanding, Frank. Great way to start.
Really a lot of fun. Dave, let's talk for a moment about a different sport, one that we have some highlights to roll on in just a moment. But before we do, let's have you talk about the 1980 Class A cross, or 1979 Class A cross-country championship.
Well, Frank, back on the second weekend in November, we went to Detweiler Park in Peoria for the 4th time with Class A schools to have the championship cross-country meet for boys. The meet was won by Porta High School from Petersburg, with the individual champion being Gary Bremer from Metropolis. It was an outstanding, crisp November day, and it was a super meet.
That sport of cross-country has gained enormous popularity in the last several years, and it's something where you see this herd of runners, and it's really the top sport at some of our high schools around the state.
There's no question about it. It's a great sport because it gives the youngster some athletic skills that he can continue to use as he grows older, and it's a good conditioning activity. It's a great discipline there.
We've got a whole generation of joggers on our hands. Maybe some of them are coming out of the cross-country program.
Oh, that's for sure. No question about it.
Dave Fry, if we will, let's roll that tape, if we can, and take a look at those highlights of this 1979 Class A cross-country championships. Not sure, we don't have that yet, so let's go on visiting just for a moment about this wonderful basketball tournament. Dave, the first game is over. Okawville wins 55-53. The second game this afternoon has Luther South going against Pittsfield. Luther South is 24-5 on the year out of Chicago, and Pittsfield is 20-9 on the year, and this should be an equally good second game.
Oh, it certainly should. I'm looking forward to it.
Can you tell us a little bit about either one of these squads and who might be the favorite?
Well, since Luther South defeated Providence from New Lenox 3 times, I believe, during the season, I suppose you'd have to look at them as a favorite. Providence was the defending champion. Pittsfield, I suppose, would have to be looked at as a Cinderella team here today. They came from a sectional where Havana, who was here last year, sort of figured early to be the team to come through, and they were upset in the regional, threw things up for grabs. And so here's the Saukees from Pittsfield. Should be a good one.
It really should. Luther South enjoys a tremendous baseline size-wise.
Yes, they're big up front and strong. They play a deliberate style ball game, I understand. I've not seen them this year, but they play a good brand of competition, and should be really fun to watch.
Okay, let's go on and talk just for a moment about tonight's action. We have Peoria Bergen coming in tonight as they play Class AA schools and throughout their entire season virtually, and Gibson City, that's in the first game this evening. What do you see there?
Well, again, you'd have to say by the brand of competition they play, probably Bergen would have to be favored. But Gibson City's a good ball club. They play strong competition in the Waseca Conference. I didn't get a chance to see them in the Super Sectional, but I have seen University High School, who they defeated there, and U-High was coming on well. So Gibson City should give a real go for themselves tonight.
Timothy Christian, of course, in Madison, the 4th game. And I think we're ready now with the high school cross-country highlights. We can roll that tape. We'll visit about it, Dave. And as the tape comes up of the 1979 cross-country title, you comment over it.
All right. We're in Detweiler Park in Peoria. As I indicated earlier, it was a crisp upper 20s November day. You can see by the youngsters there that they're dressed for warmth. Gary Bremer from Metropolis did a super job and won the individual title. The team title was won by the Blue Jays from Porta High School in Petersburg, scoring the lowest total ever for a Class A school with 78 points. Here in a minute, you're going to see Gary Bremer come across the finish line. Just an outstanding runner. He was the defending 2-mile champion in Class A. He was second in last year's meet, and I think we're just about to see him. Here he comes right now, coming across the finish line with a sign of victory. Second was Jeff Stipp from Hoopston East Lynn, and the second place team was from Princeton High School. Just a great activity.
Dave, thank you very much for that. And you know, that sport of cross-country does take a great deal of dedication. We're proud to have the chance to look at it for a moment.
We're glad to be able to put them on the air a little bit, too.
Thank you, Dave Fry, Associate Executive Secretary of the IHSA.
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Thank you. There's Jim Turpin back with us. And Jim, how about that first
Frank?
How about that? A lot of fun,
I'm still agog. I'm still amazed at that first game. As I said during the play-by-play, is one of the better first games I've seen. But now we move on to game number 2.
Hey, how about that? Luther South and Pittsfield, and Luther South's got that big baseline.
Well, I tell you, we're going to talk to Dave Bennett about Pittsfield's team. Coach, nice to see you. You walk into a place like this, it Kind of makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Oh, certainly it does. It's a dream come true for players and coaches and fans, cheerleaders, and everybody. And our community is very excited about it. And most of them are here, and we're really pleased about that.
I saw a few Selkies up there in the crowd, I think.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's too many left in Pike County.
What can you tell us about your ball club? For those that haven't seen your club play, what kind of thing do you run on offense, for example?
Well, we'll try and go with the ball when we can, but certainly have to be able to rebound in order to do it. And watching these young men from Luther South warm up, that may be a job for us. They're putting on quite a show. But, you know, we're not going to back down from anybody. And if we get a chance to go with it, we will. If we don't, we'll play patiently if necessary. And we're going to try and be competitive, and we're certainly not going to roll over for anybody.
They certainly do have the big front line, and is that going to cause you, what kind of problems will that cause you, and what do you intend to do to combat it?
Well, you know, it depends on the low post play, how we have to defense the low post play, and, you know, of course, that can happen anytime. We've played against some big boys before this year, and you know, we're playing good basketball right now, and I think we'll be all right.
What does it mean to a community like Pittsfield, Coach, to have something like you? You alluded to it just a moment ago, but those of us that have been around towns and schools that have come to this tournament, well, it's really a once-in-a-lifetime.
Well, certainly. Pittsfield is a very rich community and sports tradition. Certainly the football program there with the longest winning streak in the state is something that everyone is very proud of. And I'm involved in the football program now, and I'm very proud of it. Our community gets excited about athletics, and they'll back us all the way. And we couldn't find a much better place to be.
Of all the ball clubs you've played this year, which one gave you the most trouble? Which one would you say was the outstanding team? You're probably going to end up saying Luther South here.
Well, I certainly think that Luther South is an excellent ball club, or they wouldn't be here rated #1 in the state. We've played several good teams, and to pick one out, I don't think I could.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. David Bennett, the coach at Pittsfield. This is Cliff Dahl, the coach at Luther South. Coach, we're just talking to the Pittsfield coach. He thinks that your big front line would be one that would give him a lot of trouble. Is indeed that the strength of your club, the big guys inside?
Well, it helps to have those guys in there, but we've got pretty good guard play going, and I think that guard play has gotten us as far as we've gone in combination with the front line we have.
For those of us that have not seen your ball club often or have not seen it at all, and a lot of people here I'm sure have not, particularly those from deep in southern Illinois, what can we expect? What kind of things can we look for on offense?
Well, we'll try and put it inside right off tonight, or this afternoon, to make sure we get a good offense going. And then we pretty much just bend with what the defense lets us do, because I've got a good outside game, and we can also go inside on the rebounds.
Now, Pittsfield, I oftentimes, when you get this far, you don't have an opportunity to scout them many times, perhaps only once. Have you been able to see this ball club, or is anyone in your staff been able to see them?
I had a coach out in the Western Illinois scout their super sectional game, and Providence St. Mel in Chicago played them, and they had a film on it, and he called me and gave me some information on it. So I kind of got an idea who I got to watch.
You coaches do that, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we help, especially after you beat the guy and get him out of the tournament. He'd better help you out.
I understand. Thanks very much, and good luck to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Cliff Dahl. Let's go now to Frank Bassoni. Frank?
Got with us the head basketball coach at Okawville, and you can believe me that he's a happy man, and what a basketball game it was, Coach.
Well, like I say, it's a shame that a couple points have to make the difference between sadness and happiness, and we happen to be the happy team today. When it comes down to that close a ball game, and we've had several of those this year, of course you have to have some poise and stuff like that, but you also have to have things break your way, and they did tonight for us.
Talk about the game a little bit, Coach. Both teams came out, of course, with a good deal of intensity. Do you think that some of that intensity got Mt Pulaski in early foul trouble?
Well, I probably think that both ball clubs were not aware of the fact that they would call them quite that close. It was a well-called ball game, but it was a lot closer than we've been used to. I think sometimes there's the talk that when you get up here, it's knock heads, but it was pretty close the whole ball game, and they stayed that way. And they ended up getting in foul trouble with some of their key ball players, and it really, I think, helped us in the long run.
What kind of strategy changes did you have throughout the game? I noticed that late in the first half, your team seemed to gain some momentum, and while Mt Pulaski lost some, and it looked like for the first time you took some control of the game.
Well, we, they hit well in the first quarter in particular, and sometimes there's not much you can do about that, but just hang in there and keep playing defense. We started to go inside to Gary, and when we did that, they got themselves in foul trouble. Just tried to hang in on defense and keep our composure. We really didn't get the ball inside maybe as much as we should have when they were in foul trouble. But, of course, it all came out okay.
It sure did. At the halftime, they were shooting like 52%, and you were shooting about 40, and they had you out-rebounded 21-14, and yet you were right in the game. What did you tell them at half?
Well, that's probably some of the things that were a break on our side. I felt at halftime that we had not played particularly well. We had missed some layups. We had not shot real well, and we were still in the ball game. And if you can do that, you might have a real good shot at it the second half if things start going your way.
Okay, Gary Moeller, a dynamite game for you. That's typical all year, I guess.
Yes, Gary's been very consistent the last half of the season, somewhere between 20 and 25 points, and very strong and hits that high percentage shot.
Congratulations and best wishes to you the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now let's go back to Jim Turpin.
Thank you very much, Frank Massoni. We'll be taking a look at the Chicago Luther Ball Club and the Pittsfield Sockies with Dick Campbell in just a moment. Right now, let's pause for this message from one of our commercial sponsors.
Turn this around.
Second game coming up. We'll be back to check the starting lineups with Dick Campbell for you in just a minute.
Dave Bender just bought another $25,000 of life insurance. Not unusual, except 6 weeks ago, Dave had a heart attack. He also had a guaranteed insurability option he'd arranged through his country company's agent, so he could buy more insurance at low rates regardless of physical condition. Guaranteed insurability, the option that gives you options. Country companies, insurance for life, health, home, auto, farm, and business.
I'm Ken Carnes with a reminder that 55 is a law we can live with. We in the Missouri Department of Public Safety really believe this. We know that approximately 1,250 Missourians are alive today because of the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit. That's more people than reside in Kimberling City, Missouri. If for no other reason, it makes good sense. Only you can make it work. Remember, it's a law we can live with.
We hope you're enjoying this year's IHSA tournament telecast. TV3 is pleased to bring you the thrills of competition from the Assembly Hall in Champaign each year. We can't, however, do it alone. Here are a few participating local sponsors who help make this telecast possible. Epps Datsun, Route 13 east of Carbondale. Test drive a Datsun, you'll be impressed. Thanks also to Pete Epps' neighbor, Gene Otteson, in Otteson Mobile Homes, Route 13 east of Carbondale, behind the trees. Otteson has a home priced right for you. If you enjoy the tournament telecast, why not let these businesses know?
Back at the Assembly Hall in Champaign. Let's pause now 5 seconds for station identification. Lineups at 0. Dick Campbell, his starting lineup's coming up in just a moment, but I guess the coaches pretty much explained this ball game. It'll be an attempt by Pittsfield to try to stop the inside game of Luther South. That's sort of a generalization, but that's what he intends to do early on anyway, is to go inside on it.
Yes, right. I think Pittsfield may have a little anxiety about it. I think the size and the reputation is bothering Pittsfield a little bit, and I think they're going to try to search out there early in the ball game and see if they can play with them. And we'll see whether it's going to be a stepped-up game, whether it be fast-paced, or whether they're going to have to drop back.
Let's go now to Tom Trent, the PA announcer.
Today's second quarterfinal round game. First for the Saukey Indians of Pittsfield High School. Their record 20 wins and 9 losses. The head coach of the Saukey Indians, David Bennett, his 4th year at the school. His record 85 wins and 30 losses. The team members for the Saukeys, number 11, Donnie Moore. Number 13, Bill Cummings. Number 15, Jeff Ransom. Number 25, Scott Sanderson. Number 45, Terry Lear. Number 53, Bill McCartney. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Sockies. At a forward, a senior, 6'2", number 51, Tracy Shelton.
Shelton averaging 17.7 on the year.
The other forward for Pittsfield is senior, 6'4", number 55, Doug Newman.
Doug is 215 pounds, a good inside player, averaging 4 points a game.
At center for the Sockies, a senior, 6'3", number 43, Don Newman.
Don Newman, the center, averaging 12.9 on the year.
At one guard position for Pittsfield, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 35, Joe Petty.
Joe Petty averaging 6.4 for Pittsfield.
And the other guard for the Sockies is a junior, 6 feet tall, number 23, Terry Haskins.
And Terry Haskins averaging 8.4, playing the other guard. Campbell,
the break.
Just met that ball club. We may see a lot of them in there. They play a lot of people, don't they?
Yes, they do. They have most of those people on that whole roster have played in 18 to 20 ball games.
The head coach of the Braves, Cliff Dahl. He's in his 5th year at Luther South with a record of 91 wins, 45 losses. The team members for the Braves, number 10, Dennis Lindsay. Number 12, Paul Marquardt. Number 20, Ray Nutter. Number 24, Freeman Jackson. Number 30, Chris Bowden. Number 40, Derwin Richardson. Number 42, Jason Jackson. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Braves. At a forward, a junior, 6 feet 7 inches tall, number 54, Pierre Cooper.
Cooper averaging 9.8 on the year. Good shooter, good strong player.
For Luther South, a senior, also 6'7", number 34, Bob Gray.
Bob Gray averaging 7.3, very good from the outside.
Starting at center for the Braves, a senior, 6'6", number 52, Tony Martin.
Martin's the leading scorer, averaging 15.2.
At one guard position for Luther South, a senior, 6'3", number 32, Dave Allen.
Dave Allen, averaging 4.9, is considered the best ball handler on the ball club.
And the other guard for the Braves is a junior, 5'11", number 14, Mike Conley.
And the very swift Mike Conley, averaging 8.7. Luther South.
The officials for this quarterfinal game.
Officials for the ball game this afternoon. Roger Quinlan of Thomasboro on the left and Jimmy Jones of Bloomington on the right. First game was won by Okawville, 55 to 53. Okawville will meet the winner of this one, Luther South against Pittsfield. This Luther South Ball Club really has some size. 6'7", 6'7", 6'6", 6'3", and 5'11".
Jim, in Luther South's guard, 5'10" Mike Conley. He had 2 slam dunks in the super sectional at 5'10", and he's the Class A triple jump champion. What a great athlete.
Both ball clubs break around their respective coaches, Dave Bennett of Pittsfield and Cliff Dahl of Luther South. Moving into jump will be Tony Martin. For Luther South, against him will be Don Newman of Pittsfield. Game number 2 of the quarterfinals is underway, and the tip is controlled by Luther South. With it is Bob Gray. Out front he comes to Mike Conley. Looking underneath, lob for the big guy. Off the board is good by Pierre Cooper. And Luther South breaks on top 2-0.
Pittsfield right at a man-to-man to him right off the bat, matching him up. And
Pressure
press
in
it
the
back.
Pressure in the backcourt. They get the ball the length of the court. They give it off to Don Newman, who scores to tie it. 2-2 tie. Mike Conley brings it down for Luther South.
Again, Pittsfield going man-to-man after him. Figure they're going to try to match him up.
Short jumper is up and in. That is Tony Martinell on the baseline, and it's 4-2. Luther South by 2. Haven't had a shot missed here. This one is taken up where the other one left off. On the side, Tracy Shelton, deep shot. That missed everything. Rebound picked out of there by Bob Gray, and he clears it to Mike Conley. Conley brings it down. Man-to-man against Terry Hester. That is Conley. Steve Allen back to Conley. Right side out of Bob Gray. They lob again underneath. Third jumper is up. No good. Shot there by Tony Martin, but a foul that's called underneath, and Martin will go to the line.